Hello everyone, I'm Chris Ercoli and welcome to the Week 7 edition of the HS Game Time You PickEm Show. I'm Chris Ercoli, alongside me, the prep dog, John Murphy. Before we hit off a very meaty week of league play, we first give a tribute out to our Week 6 winner. That would be Eric Seckinger. He got 15 out of 15, perfect 15 out of 15. He's from Riverside. He will get his HS Game Time prize. Now, though, P-Dog is excited to talk about our first game. It's Banning and Rubidoux. Also happens to be the tiebreaker. P-Dog, it's coming down to the wire in the predictions right now. Who do you have?
I've got Rubidoux in this one in a close game. Banning, they have the great Tyrone Hairston. He's scoring nearly 4 touchdowns a game. Their only loss is to Beaumont. Teams try to contain him. They say they're going to shut him down, but he always gets loose. Will he get loose enough against Rubidoux? Maybe not. They've got Daniel Young, DeAndre Washington. They've got some weapons, Jalen Pontius, and I like them in a close game.
Our second game, Citrus Hill and Beaumont. Right now, 95% of the people are taking Citrus Hill. They are undefeated. P-Dog, we know Beaumont doesn't like it when we pick against them. You might have to this week.
Yeah, Beaumont's been on an awfully nice run, the triple overtime win against Ukaipa, and, last week another victory. They're 5-1, 1-0 in league. But Citrus Hill, what are you going to say? I mean, their only tough game was against Arlington, which they won by 10 points. They've got Trevor Hodge at quarterback. He can run it and pass it. P.J. Walker's been picking up the yards on the ground, and Stephen Van Hook, a recent committee. He's a force with 8 sacks on the edge. He'll be after Josh Martin, who had a calf injury last week. He'll be back though, and they'll have the main guys, Jeffers and Sam Roberts. I look for Beaumont to give him a tussle, but I like Citrus Hill in the end.
Definitely beating Citrus Hill is no easy task. Our next game, North and Valley View. P-Dog, we saw North struggle a bit against Canyon Springs. They did pull out the W. Can they have an easier time with Valley View this week?
This is going to be a tough game for the Huskies. Looking at who the teams have played and who they've beaten and who they've lost to, they've basically lost to the better teams, and they've beaten the teams that they should. Neither team really has a signature win yet. I like North in a close game with Joseph Garcia throwing the ball. Denzel Foster has almost 1,000 yards on the ground. And, of course, Marcus Baugh, he's averaging more than 17 yards a catch. But Valley View with Mitchell Capizzi, can pick up the yards on the ground. And then Thompson as well has over 400 yards this year.
Denzel Foster was a machine last week on the ground. We'll see if he can do that against Valley View once again. Our next game should be a big clash in the Big 8. We've got Centennial and Norco. P-Dog and Norco slipped up against Santiago. Can they rebound with what would be a huge win against Centennial?
Well, Norco has, in the last 7 or 8 years, they've got a couple of victories against Centennial. They beat them in 2009 by 1 point. And they beat them in 2005 by 20. But otherwise, they've usually lost big to Centennial. Their average losses, out of their last 6 games that they've lost by almost 4 touchdowns. So I guess they're hoping for a close game. Robert Weber, at quarterback for Centennial, can really throw it. He's got, Rankin to hand the ball off to, and then Barry Ware has been averaging over 30 yards per catch for the Huskies. But, Norco's got a Jigbee, and if he can get loose a couple of times, and then Colton Gearhart, of course, picks up yards in bunches, passing and running.
Could be a shootout on the offensive side. Definitely going to be an exciting game to watch. Finally, a kind of a battle in the middle of the Big 8. We've got Corona and King. Who do you like in that one?
This is really another tough one to pick. I like Corona a little bit. even though they're coming off, like virtually a 40-point loss to Centennial. Their record is 2-4, but that includes the forfeit with Colony. They've got Joe Covarrubias can throw it, and then Davis and Alvarez are both averaging, 20 yards per catch, and they've combined for 5 touchdown catches. So they've got a little bit of explosiveness. King is a team that, they really haven't met their expectations yet, I don't think. Brent Hollingsworth, he throws as nice a ball as I've seen all season long, and he's got Holsey at running back, who is a home run hitter, and then Kendall Moore on the edge can really catch the ball. So if they can get it together, they can certainly win this game.
Corona also wears 49er gold, so that could be a factor as well.
Can't hurt him.
Yeah. All right, P-Dog, that does it for our Week 7 edition of the HS Game Time You Pick'em show. Be sure to get your picks in. We do have one Thursday game on the menu this week. Get that in by 5 p.m. Thursday. Other than that, 5 p.m. on Friday for your picks. That does it, and we'll see you out there on Friday night.